So with the announcement yesterday that NASCAR is going to be heading to Nashville Super Speedway with and with the inclusion of possibly going to the Nashville Fairgrounds in the near future for the Cup Series, what about other tracks that may get Cup rides down the road? Which I'm going to be talking to about today. Here are some of the tracks that I believe NASCAR is going to add by the end of this decade. Now keep in mind, some of the tracks aren't even in this game, so take a look. Alright, let's see. Let's get this one out of the way. North Wilkesboro, and Rockingham, not gonna happen. They had their time in the sun. As much as this pains me to say, if I have to choose which one out of those two, it's probably Rockingham. Next, Canadian Tire. This could see a cup race. But the thing is this road course willing to accept it? That remains to be a top question mark right now. Is this track worthy of a triple threat weekend on the Cup circuit? But at least it should be getting some sort of consideration. And here's one that I believe is probably the next in line to get the call up, Iowa. The thing with this track is done pretty well hosting Xfinity races as well as truck races. So with it being in the Midwest, I could see one of the Michigan races being relocated here. But that's just in my opinion on that. Another one, possibly Mid-Ohio. Same reason as the Canada race. Is this track ready for it? I think it's probably more prepared than say the Canada course, but I do believe this track will get some consideration by year's end. And here's one that everybody seems to want, Road America. Out of all the road courses, besides roads of the Americas in Texas, this is probably the road course that's the heavy favorite to be added onto the Cup Series schedule, because most of the Xfinity drivers love it, the Truck Series loves it, and I believe this is probably, if there's a road course in this game that is probably going to get added, this would be it. And honestly, it's going to be interesting to see how the Cup drivers handle this. Another track that's been coming up in Cup Series contention, Gateway. And honestly, this shouldn't be not much of a problem. Just take one of the Kansas races and put it here. Simple as that. Okay. And here's another one that's been considering. That's also in consideration. Eldora. Yeah, I know everyone wants Eldora mainly because it's the thing with the Pinnacle going back to its roots. But here's the thing: the drivers may want it, but the manufacturers probably don't, considering how expensive that package is going to be for the Cup Series. But honestly, I could definitely see seeing Eldora be a legitimate possibility. But now let's talk about some tracks that are not in this game, and I do believe could make a legitimate case towards getting a Cup ride. That are in consideration. Street courses. I know Chicago and LA are up into consideration, but here's the thing. Chicago, I'm not sure it can hold it, and LA is LA. And how are they going to keep the roads cleared for the race with all this this with all this and all this chaos that's been going around. And let's be honest, the LAPD doesn't have the shiniest reputations right now, especially during this time of this crisis with George Floyd's death. Which, if LA is going to get a road course, chances are it's probably going to be on where the Long Beach Grand Prix is. And I live not that far away from where they do from Long Beach, and I may have to do that's the video I may have to do, going on the actual route for the Long Beach Grand Prix. So if NASCAR does do a street course, chances are I believe they're going to be racing the same layout as the Long Beach Grand Prix. And honestly, if I'm Auto Club Speedway, this could be nervous, which is why I do think NASCAR could go to a 40 race season. But this is just my opinion. On this, I could definitely see NASCAR going for a 40 race season. That way they can add all these tracks in. Which I believe is probably going to be the case. So which tracks do I believe is going to be added by the end of this decade? In my personal opinion, chances are it's probably going to be Iowa, Road America, Long Beach Grand Prix, and Gateway. Those are my picks. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below and tell me what you guys think which tracks are going to be added by the end of the 2020s. Thanks you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified. Thanks for watching.